Please stand by.
1, 2, 3, 4!
Señor Fancypants.
From an underground laboratory in Pennsylvania comes the Señor Fancypants Show. It is a family-friendly podcast, but if you are offended by the word poop, then you should probably skip this episode. Please give it up for your host, Señor Brian Fancypants and Lincoln.
Wow, thanks so much. You're a great audience. All right, you can fade out now. We're going to get the show started. Welcome to episode 20 of the Señor Fancypants Show. Can you believe it, Lincoln? 20 episodes.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Yeah, most people that start podcasts usually give up by now. Well, we're going to keep going because we have several loyal listeners out there, and we're super thankful for that. So we've got a great show today. Are you excited, Lincoln?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we actually have a special guest hanging out with us here in the laboratory today. We have Lincoln's sister, Brooklyn, with us. Say hi, Brooklyn.
Hi.
Yeah, that's right. As we mentioned last time, we're going to be talking a little bit about the moon on this episode. So I guess we're just going to have to make our place of the day the moon. I've never been there. Have you, Lincoln or Brooklyn? Have you been to the moon?
No.
No, it's a pretty expensive trip, so not many people have had the chance to go there. Do you know how many people have ever stepped foot on the moon?
12.
That's right, 12 people. It's been a long time, though, since anyone has stepped foot on the moon. Back in the 1960s and the early 1970s, NASA had a program called the Apollo program. And one of the major goals of that program was to land human beings on the moon and return them safely to Earth. And 6 of NASA's Apollo missions resulted in humans landing on the moon, and those were Apollo 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Lincoln, do you know the names of the first 2 people to touch the surface of the moon?
Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin.
That's correct. That was on the Apollo 11 mission, which was about 50 years ago, way back in 1969, way before I was born. Now, the last people to step on the moon were Gene Cernan and Jack Schmitt, and that was on the Apollo 17 mission, which was in December of 1972. So like I said, it's been a while since we've been back there. Now, on these trips to the moon, the astronauts actually left some stuff behind on the moon, and this is mostly because they wanted to take back samples of soil and rocks and stuff from the moon. And if they took everything back with them, then their spacecraft would be too heavy. So they left things up there like tools and boots and backpacks and science experiment stuff that they were done with. Now, one interesting thing that I had never heard of or thought about before was that they left many bags of human waste up there. Do you know what I'm talking about, Lincoln or Brooklyn?
Yeah.
What am I talking about?
Poop.
That's right. Even astronauts poop. There are approximately 96 bags of poop on the moon, and they've been there for a very long time. Like we said, Apollo 11 landed 50 years ago, so some of that poop is 50 years old. Happy 50th birthday, moon poop. Now, some scientists want to bring back the bags of poop here to Earth so they can study it. Now, I'm sure that's going to be a very exciting day for those scientists when those bags finally arrive. It's going to be like Christmas for them. Certainly not my kind of Christmas, but to each his own.
Full tripping.
I read a few articles about the moon poop, and apparently, when someone mentioned to Buzz Aldrin that scientists wanted to bring the poop back to study it, Mr. Aldrin said, "Well, I sure feel bad for whoever finds my bag." Now, I don't want to know the story behind that quote, but that's pretty funny, Mr. Aldrin. Anyway, I'm glad we got to share that important information with you.
96 bags of poop on the moon, 96 bags of poop, and they've been there for 50 years. 96 bags of poop on the moon, 96 bags of poop on the moon, 96 bags of poop, and they've been there for 50 years. 96 bags of poop on the moon.
Since the moon is our place of the day, we should at least read a few moon facts, so that's what we're going to do right now. First moon fact: the temperature on the moon can either be super hot or super cold. When the sun hits the surface of the moon, the temperature can reach as high as 260 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 127 degrees Celsius. And when the sun goes down, the temperature can go as low as negative 243 Fahrenheit, which is negative 153 Celsius. So if you plan on going to the moon at some point, don't forget to pack a hoodie and bring sunblock. You might need SPF 1000.
The moon orbits around the Earth. It takes the moon 27.3 days to travel all the way around the Earth.
Nice. The moon doesn't produce its own light. Even though it looks like a big, bright light in our sky, it only looks that way because it is reflecting light from the sun. All right, one more fact, Lincoln.
The moon is 1/4 of the size of Earth.
Wow, so it's pretty small. All right, it's time for us to take a little break and play some music. I think it's appropriate that we play a song that mentions the moon. So we're going to play an artist that we've played before here on the show called Danny Weinkauf. One of his albums called Inside I Shine has a song on it that he recorded, and it's his own version of a classic Sesame Street song called I Don't Want to Live on the Moon. Check it out.
Well, I'd like to visit the moon on a rocket ship high in the air. Yes, I'd like to visit the moon, but I don't think I'd like to live there. No, I'd like to look down at the earth from above. I would miss all the places and people I love. So although I might like it for one afternoon, I don't want to live on the moon. If I could travel under the sea, I could meet all the fish everywhere. Yeah, I'd travel under the sea, but I don't think I'd want to live there. I might stay for a day there if I had my wish, but there's not much to do when your friends are all fish. An oyster and clam are a real family, so I don't want to live in the sea.
I'd like to visit the jungle, hear the lion roar, go back in time and meet a dinosaur. So many places that I'd like to be, but none of them permanently.
So if I should visit the moon, well, I'll dance on a moonbeam and then I will make a wish on a star, and I wish I was home once again. Though I'd like to look down at the earth from above, I would miss all the places and people I love. So although I may go, I'll be coming home soon. 'Cause I don't wanna live on the moon. No, I don't wanna live on the moon.
Today's episode is brought to you by Earth.
Earth, one of the top 2 places you can find human waste. All right, guess what time it is?
It's time for Keith Brockway's question of the day.
Keith Brockway's question of the day.
All right, so today's question from Keith Brockway is, in your opinion, how do you make the perfect peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Lincoln, I know you enjoy a good peanut butter and jelly, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I make one for you every single day for school. So how do you like yours?
White bread.
Classic.
Yeah,
Peanut butter, right?
peanut
Smooth
butter.
or crunchy?
Smooth.
Okay, and what kind of jelly?
A lot of jelly.
Yeah, but what kind? Do you know?
Grape jelly.
Yeah, grape jelly. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And also, I cut off the crust for you.
Yes.
That's pretty high maintenance. But first, other than you, we got to find out what all of these people chose, because we got a lot of responses to this question. So I guess this is something that people have strong feelings about. But as usual, we have to read Keith Brockway's response first. Let's see what he said. All right, it says, Keith likes his to be toasted whole wheat bread with a good deal of peanut butter and strawberry jam. Pretty wild. What do you think of that, Lincoln? Strawberry jam. You think
It's
you could
good.
switch over from grape?
No.
Now you're going to stick to grape?
Yes.
All right, let's move on to some of the other answers because there's like a million of them. Jen said that it's got to be white bread, but top shelf white bread like Wonder Bread. Okay. Chunky peanut butter with grape jelly, and depending on her mood, she might toast it. Great answer. All right, Katie said you got to put peanut butter on both sides of the bread and a smooth layer of jam in the middle. Any type of real fruit jam or fruit preserves. No Welch's. Come on, there's nothing wrong with Welch's. Right, Lincoln?
There is nothing wrong.
That's right. Stop being a snob, Katie. All right, Kimberly said she likes hers with creamy peanut butter on soft white bread, grape jam on one side, and peanut butter on the other side. Classic. All right, what else do we have here? David said that he puts 2 parts peanut butter on one slice of bread, 1 part grape or mint jelly on another slice of bread, and then he smushes it together. I didn't even know there was such a thing as mint jelly. Lincoln, have you had mint jelly before?
No.
Yeah, me neither. That's interesting. All right, Amanda said it is essential to put a thin layer of peanut butter on each slice of bread and then add the jelly. If you don't, the jelly side gets soggy. But if you put too much peanut butter on both sides, then the jelly slides out in the middle. Getting it right is an art. Wow, that's intense. Steve says he uses real peanut butter, just ground peanuts, strawberry jam homemade, fresh sliced strawberries, ground peanuts. Wait, we already said ground peanuts. Okay. 2 thick slices of hearty wheat bread, and an optional choice is to grill it. What do you think of that? Grilling peanut butter and jelly.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it could be good. I know that my mom does that. All right, let's see. I can't get to all of these, so let's skip here. Oh, Marcia. Marcia said she likes hers with whole wheat bread with a good layer of creamy peanut butter, not Skippy. Wow, she's anti-Skippy. Yeah, we don't buy Skippy, but not because we're anti-Skippy. Also, she adds a small amount of Smucker's squeezable strawberry jelly, and she has to cut it down the middle and serve it with milk. You wouldn't serve yours with milk, would you, Lincoln?
I wouldn't.
Not a fan of the milk. That's another vote for strawberry jelly. A lot of people like strawberry. All right, Cheryl said white bread sliced thickly, and then peanut butter on both slices, and then seedless raspberry jam in the middle. All right, that's the first vote for raspberry jam. All right, I can dig it. James said, first I take soft, fresh white bread. Then I spread creamy Jif on one slice, and then I put Polliner, I guess that's a brand, Polliner all-fruit strawberry on the other slice. Next, I grab a slice of white American cheese and put it on top of the jelly. Next, I take Ripple's potato chips and carefully put a double layer on the peanut butter. Then I put both slices together and eat it. All right, that is one of our more unusual answers. Lincoln, what are your thoughts of putting American cheese on a peanut butter and jelly?
Okay,
Personally,
I don't know.
That sounds awful to me, but then you add the Ripple's potato chips on top of that. James, you're insane.
The potato chips I would have.
Yeah, maybe. It adds a little texture, a little salt, but I don't know. I think James might be crazy. Terry said peanut butter and grape jelly, but grilled. Okay, that's a good one. Another vote for grape jelly. All right, let's do a few more here. Curry likes to mix smooth peanut butter and grape jelly in a bowl before putting it on the bread. Thoughts, Lincoln?
It's good.
That's a good idea. All right, so actually they make a product. I forget what it's called. I think it might be called like Goober or something, but it's on the shelves of your local grocery stores where it's a jar that has peanut butter and jelly combined already. I've never been brave enough to try it though. But Curry, you might want to look into that. Steve said he likes white bread toasted, then put butter on both slices, then add chunky peanut butter on both slices, then you put Welch's grape jelly on it and cut it diagonally. Wow, diagonally. That's a little crazy, don't you think, Lincoln?
Not really.
No, it's not crazy, but it's different. So chunky peanut butter and butter, though. Would you put butter on it?
Nah.
Butter and peanut butter. That's a new one. I've never heard that one before. All right, do we have any more? All right, last one. Brenda likes to eat an open-faced peanut butter and jelly. Smooth peanut butter and grape jelly. Okay, open-faced? But I don't think open-faced is technically a sandwich, Brenda. Come on, we've talked about this before. All right, so that's a lot of great answers. I can see that most people like either strawberry or grape jelly. James is crazy and likes white American cheese on his. But all in all, we got way too many responses to read all of them on the air. So if we didn't get to yours, make sure you answer the next question that we post on Facebook. So go make sure to like Señor Fancypants on Facebook right now or after this podcast is over. All right, next up, we are going to talk about animals. But today, we're not just picking one animal, we're going to talk about the names for groups of the same animals. For example, a group of fish together is called what? What is it called?
A school of fish.
Oh, thanks, Brooklyn. A school of fish. So we're just saying, like, what is the collective name for a group of the same animal? All right, Lincoln?
Yeah.
So Lincoln has a whole, like a list on his side, which you can't see us, so you don't know what I'm talking about, but he's across from me, and he has a list of the names of different animal group names, and I have all the answers in front of me. So he doesn't have the names of the animals, just the names of what the groups are. So I'm going to say the name of an animal, and Lincoln or Brooklyn, you can jump in and just try to guess what the group name is, okay? So, for example, we said, a fish, it's a school of fish. But what is a group of camels called, Lincoln? You out in the audience, try to guess it before Lincoln does, or before I tell you the answer.
Caravan.
Serious?
Caravan.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is one of the options. There's 4 options for camels: caravan, flock, train, or herd. But you got it. Caravan counts. Good job.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to jump to one you're not going to get. Are you ready?
What?
Hedgehogs. What is a group of hedgehogs called? I didn't know this, to be honest. I'll give you a hint. It starts with an A.
Okay.
Wait, do you have them in alphabetical order? Because that was not... That's my bad.
No. It's...
Group of hedgehogs. Brooklyn, do you know? No.
Array?
Yes, an array. There you go. Now you know.
It's the only one on my list.
That's the only A?
Yes.
That kind of gave it away. All right, how about, let's see. How about a kangaroo? Or a group of kangaroos, rather.
Okay.
What is it?
Thinking about it.
No, you can't think. Just pick for one off that list that you have.
I'm trying to be good at it.
Yes. Brooklyn, do you know what a group of kangaroos is?
No.
Okay, so the answer is a mob or a troop of kangaroos. All right, here's one. How about a narwhal? Or what is a group of narwhals called?
Troop?
No.
Okay.
It starts with a B, and I don't think there's many B's over there. So a group of narwhals begins with a B. You don't know?
I kind of actually just... I lost it. Where is it?
All right, 10, 9. Just kidding, that's too long. Brooklyn, do you know? Group of narwhals is called a... Just guess one.
I'm finding it. Where was it?
It's called a blessing.
I saw that one. I
All
didn't
right.
see it.
All right, next we're going to do... how about... Oh, this one's weird. How about iguanas? What's a group of iguanas called? Brooke, do you know?
No.
All right, you're just going to keep coming to the mic and saying no? Well, this one starts with an S, Lincoln. A group of iguanas, and it's kind of intense. It's an
Slaughter.
S. A slaughter of iguanas. That sounds really scary. I mean, a group of iguanas sounds scary, but when you say, look at that slaughter of iguanas, actually it sounds like somebody is slaughtering iguanas. Either way, it's intense. All right, how about, let's do another one. Ooh, this one's weird. Frogs. This isn't actually that weird. It's kind of cool, though. What is a group of frogs called? Begins with an A.
Oh.
You don't have many A's over there.
It's easy.
I'll give you a hint. It's army. Oh, wait, that was a bad hint. That's
Army.
the answer. An army of frogs, which I'd love to see. How about, let's see, let's do a couple more. How about pandas? You actually, I think, know this one because you said it to me earlier. Pandas.
An embarrassment.
Yes, an embarrassment of pandas. That's good. All right, let's do 2 more. All right, Brooklyn, let's see if you can get one instead of just saying no. What is a group of dolphins called? It starts with a
Pod.
pod. All right, you're not Brooklyn. But anyway, it is a pod. Good job, Lincoln. And last one. Let me find a good one. Maybe one that I didn't know before I had this list in front of me. I'm going to go with, what is a group of giraffes called? This one makes sense, actually. Giraffes. Begins with a T. Giraffes. Anybody out in the audience know? Shout it out. If you're in your car, shout it out. What's a group of giraffes called? Brooklyn, do you know? Starts with a T. Rhymes with sour. I kind of gave it away there, Lincoln.
Tower.
A tower of giraffes. So there you have it. There's many other names for groups of animals. You can go and look them up. And chances are there's many that you've never heard of. But, you never know when you might need to know the name of a group of animals. All right, so we need to move on and do something. I think we need a music break. Actually, I wish you could see Lincoln right now. Brooklyn, how long is Lincoln's hair right now, would you say? What's the estimate?
Well, it's really long.
It is really long. Some might say too long. But, he likes it, and that's okay. So we're going to do a hair song. We're going to play a hair song, and it's going to be one of my favorite songs about hair. And it's by our friends Ants on a Log. And here is their song called Some Girls Have Short Hair.
Some girls have short hair. You can look under my hat and wonder what is there. I washed it, I promised to shower it. Oh, I know it's rare, but some girls have short hair. Some girls have short hair. You can look under my hat and wonder what is there. I washed it, I promised to shower it. Oh, I know it's rare, but some girls have short hair. Some boys have long hair. It started growing and now it's glowing. So long and fair, he might be a drum or a skilled at computer repair. But some boys have long hair. Some boys have long hair. It started growing and now it's glowing. So long and fair, he might be a drum or a skilled at computer repair. But some boys have long hair. Some girls have pigtails. Some girls have mohawks. Some boys have pigtails. Some girls have short hair.
All right, that was great. We love Ants on a Log. Go check them out on Facebook or wherever you look up things on the internet. All right, so we're going to do one more segment today on this podcast. This one might be a little different. What we're going to do right now is I just want to talk to Lincoln and Brooklyn about stuff that they've been into lately, just things that they're interested in, like games or books or whatever they're interested in. So first, let's start with Lincoln. Lincoln, tell me some of the books that you've been reading lately.
One is Wild Rescuers, Guardians of the Taiga by Stacy Plays.
Okay, and that one's a good one?
Yeah.
You've read that already once before, right?
At least 20 times.
That's a lot of time, so I guess you would recommend that one.
Yes.
Once again, what was the title?
Wild Rescuers, Guardians of the Taiga.
By Stacy Plays. And who is Stacy Plays?
She's a YouTuber.
Yeah. And clearly she's also a writer.
Yes.
How many books has she written so far?
2.
And you recommend both? You've read them both?
Yes.
All right, so go check out Stacy Plays. And do you have any other books that you've been reading lately?
Yeah, the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time manga.
Manga? What is that funny word? I've never heard that.
It's the Japanese graphic novels.
Oh, the ones that you have to read differently, like you start with the back and read to the front. Okay.
It's by Akira Haimkawa.
All right, so
Don't
you
know
recommend
if I'm saying
those?
that correctly, but I bet I am.
Okay, so Legend of Zelda manga books. Okay, what else?
The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Hand Guide by Nintendo.
By Nintendo?
Yeah.
Wait, so that's just the guide to the video game, to the Switch game?
Yeah, it just gives you tips.
But you've already defeated that game, right?
Basically.
But you lost your save data, didn't you?
Yes.
So you're starting all over again.
Yeah,
But you don't mind, right? Because you love that game.
Yes.
All right, so that was the books you've been reading. Now let's move on to what games have you been playing lately? Video games in particular.
Fortnite.
Fortnite. It seems like everyone's playing Fortnite. Didn't
By
something
Epic
crazy
Games.
something crazy just happened in Fortnite, didn't it?
Yeah, a black hole swallowed the entire world, but then...
That sounds crazy. So what happened then after that?
Then a new world was built, and now we're in that world.
Okay, so Fortnite kind of restarted? Or
Yes.
All right. All right, so you recommend it? Have you tried it, the new chapter?
Yeah.
All right. What else have you been playing other than Fortnite?
Minecraft
Minecraft, that's a classic. A lot of people are still playing that game.
by Mojang.
Okay. Is that it? Fortnite and Minecraft? No, you got more?
No. I have Undertale.
Undertale, which
Right.
I have seen. Wait, by who?
Toby Fox.
Okay, so that's the one that looks kind of like a retro game.
Yeah.
So for some of you older people out there, it's similar to the old what games?
Earthbound and Mother.
Earthbound. Okay, so those are the games you've been playing a lot lately. Anything else you've been doing besides homework?
Not really.
All right, so a lot of gaming, a lot of reading. Good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's give Brooklyn a turn. Brooklyn, why don't you tell me what's one of the books that you've been reading a lot lately?
Phoebe and Her Unicorn in Unicorn Theater by Danny Weinkauf.
All right, I'm going to read it. It says, Phoebe and Her Unicorn, and the book title is Unicorn Theater. So this is a series of books by Dana Simpson about a unicorn, well, a girl and her unicorn friend, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
And do you recommend this book?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good book. It's got a lot of humor. It's really fun. It's a graphic novel. So if you like graphic novels, check out Dana Simpson's Unicorn, Phoebe and Her Unicorn series. They're really fun. And then what's the name of the other book you've been reading lately?
The English Roses.
By who? Who wrote The English Roses? You can't read that? It's Madonna. So a lot of the kids out there might not know who Madonna is, but a lot of the parents out there definitely know. She is a famous pop singer who was very popular in the 80s and 90s. That's back in the 1900s. You were not even thought of back then. So you like this book, The English Roses by Madonna. What's the book about?
Well, there's these girls called the English Roses that were like jealous of this other girl, and like they became friends with her.
Okay, so there were these girls that were kind of jealous of another girl. And then in the story, they end up becoming friends with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice story. I read it with you once, so you might, if you haven't checked it out, it's been out a long time, but it's worth looking at. So, The English Roses by Madonna. So those are your two main books you've been enjoying lately. And have you been playing any video games? I know you play sometimes with your brother, but what do you like to play?
Minecraft.
Minecraft, of course. What else?
Undertale.
Oh, you like to play Undertale as well?
Yeah.
All right, and I know I've been seeing you play one game on the iPad recently. What was that?
Roblox.
Roblox. What is Roblox?
Well, you make an account and then you just like there's a bunch of games you can play like simulators.
Simulators?
Like family games,
But
tycoons.
Tycoon. It's a lot of fun though, right?
Yeah.
Roblox. Okay, so those are the games. Is there anything else you've been interested in lately?
No.
No, just reading and playing games. And school, right? You love school, don't you?
Yeah.
Stay in school, kids. All right, so that's great. So that's a lot of recommendations from Lincoln and Brooklyn. Lincoln, did you have anything else to add?
Not really, but actually, wait.
Wait, I will wait for you. Go ahead.
I do also like Pokemon cards.
Oh, that's right. Lincoln and Brooklyn have recently gotten back into, or just gotten really into Pokemon. I mean, I know it's been out for like a million years, but they've been collecting the cards, and it's been a lot of fun. Because we actually went somewhere cool recently. We didn't even talk about this. We went to the very first ever Comic-Con for kids. Did you guys have a good time there?
Yes.
Yeah, it's in the suburbs of Philadelphia, and like I said, it was the first one ever, so it had something for everybody. Well, especially if you're a nerd or a geek or whatever, or a dork. But they had a lot of really cool art there, and they had a lot of retro games that you could play, and different artists were there teaching you how to draw. And then there were some famous YouTubers and stuff that I had no clue who they were, but it was a lot of fun. And I think it's just going to get better. So maybe next year we'll see some of you at Comic-Con for kids. Do you recommend it, Brooke?
Yes.
Okay, what were you going to say? It looked like you wanted to say something.
Well, there was also lots of people dressed up like there was a person dressed up as a marshmallow.
A marshmallow? From what? Just a marshmallow. Okay, yeah, there were lots of people doing cosplay, which means what? What is cosplay, Lincoln?
Like putting on costumes.
Oh, that you're not Lincoln, but yes, putting on like costumes for, different characters from movies and stuff and games.
And acting like them and
Yes.
and not responding to anyone because they want to pretend to be them.
Okay, so cosplay. Does that just stand for like costume play?
Yeah.
Either way, we had a good time going to Comic-Con. We got a bunch of Pokemon cards, and we got some cool art for our house, video game related art. Pokemon-related art. It was really fun. So, like I said, maybe we'll see you there next year. But right now, I think it's time for Lincoln and Brooklyn to go to bed. That's my opinion. What about you?
Yeah.
You excited about bed?
No.
Tell you what, I'll give you a cookie before you go to bed. All right, so all of you out there, thank you so much for listening. And, yeah, guys, say goodbye to our listeners.
Goodbye.
And good night. We love you. Anything to add?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
We'll see you later. Thanks for listening to episode 20 of the Señor Fancypants Show. Our next episode is going to be coming out real soon, and it's going to be a Halloween special. So if for some reason you don't celebrate Halloween, then you may want to skip episode 21, because we're going to be talking about all things Halloween, and we're going to play a bunch of really great Halloween songs from some of our friends. But right now, we're going to end today's show with a beautiful song from the most recent album from the group Renee and Friends. The album is called Kindred, and this song is called Super Fragile World. Enjoy.
One day I'll say, remember when we were so young and clever? All we wanted to do was change the world. We would talk for hours about it, then we'd even shout about it. All we wanted to do was change the world. And they say, change yourself, don't waste your time trying to change somebody else's ways or their mind. Change yourself, don't point your finger at somebody else, and maybe then the world will change. One day we'll be all the wiser, watching all the kids still trying hard to change this super fragile world. And I'll say, change yourself, don't waste your time trying to change somebody else's ways or their mind. Change yourself, don't point your finger at somebody else, and maybe then the world will. Are you really gonna wear that? No, you really shouldn't do that. He's gotta, she's gotta, where did you learn how to drive? One day I'll say, remember when we were so young and clever? All we wanted to do was change the world.